This is Saturday, October 28th. There are 263 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2018. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
BANUHTEE, go.
Oh my god, I love LiveJournal, and my LiveJournal loves me. Current mood is hyperactive.
Good morning. I am your host, James Riley. And joining me on the podcast this morning is, of course, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for watching today.
Let me see if this works. All right. And joining us as well is Andy Wagner.
Good morning, everybody.
And I did this just for you.
Oh.
Can you hear it?
Yes, I can. Fun fact, that's my phone's ringtone.
There you go. Don't go Penn State. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
All right. So this morning is SDCC returning registration. And we will be taking your questions and comments throughout the show. So tweet us those at SD_comic_con or use the hashtag SDConCast. We'll also be keeping an eye on the YouTube chat as it goes today. So you can also make comments there. We will try to catch everything, but if it's moving quickly, just post it again after a few minutes if we don't answer your question.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
This is always my favorite podcast because we're trying to watch like our ads, the comments on the chat, like about 3 different hashtags. It's always fun. It's always fun.
Always.
But yes, but we love it, and we thank all of you guys so much for doing this. So we are having 4 badge sales in a year, which is kind of a lot.
How are we having that is? I don't think my nerves can handle this much.
So it's funny. What a year does is I feel like no one's memory works after about like 6 months. But we've had like so many people ask like, why is this sale so early? And it's really not that early. Normally returning registration is in around like early to mid like November, sometimes early December, that kind of time frame. So it's not that early. It's just that for 2017, everything was so gosh darn late. Like, I'm not looking at the date, but I'm pretty sure returning registration was March 11th, which
Something
is
like
just crazy late. So with open registration being sometime in late 2017, that means that we officially have 4 badge sales in a year, which again is kind of a lot, but hopefully this means we're back on like a semi-regular schedule. And things seem to be going pretty well this morning. Like nobody is reporting major issues. Like we've had a couple questions, like a couple people seem to be having problems with like their computers, but not like on CCI's end for the most part. So that's all good. The waiting room opened at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And as they always say every year, there's no advantage to arriving early. You have between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to actually get into the waiting room. And then at 9 a.m., James, why don't you tell us a little bit about, or Andy, you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at 9.
9 a.m. is when all the magic happens. People start panicking, and that's when they finally start letting people into the buying room. Now, what confuses a lot of people is you can buy for up to 3 people total. If you're buying for yourself, that means you can buy for yourself plus 2 other people.
But each person you purchase for must be eligible for the sale all on their own. So if you have like a brand, like if your cousin wants to attend for the very first time, it always seems to be a cousin when people ask this question. Unfortunately, this is not the sale for them. They're just going to have to wait until open registration.
Exactly. If you're eligible, you will definitely know it. CCI will have sent you an email, or if you didn't see the email, maybe it ended up in your spam folder. If you log into your member ID, you can check on registration info. And for one thing, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, it'll tell you in green if you're eligible for returning registration or if you're not. If you go into your registration info tab, you'll see your member ID, your user code and the link to the Expo Logic waiting room, that means you're eligible.
Yes. Yes. And let's just, everyone should theoretically, hopefully know this, have paid attention, all of that. But let's just assume that maybe you don't. Each code can only be used once, which is, I say that, I'll get into the specifics of that in a second. You can only use each code once, so you can't open up like 20 sessions and be like, I'll see which one gets in first. That's not how this game works. You can only use it once. If you have multiple codes, so let's say like you're a family of 4 and all 4 of you have a code, each code has to be in its own specific browser. So you can't open 2 tabs in the same browser. You can't open 2 windows in the same browser. It has to be like one code is Firefox, one code is Chrome, one code is Internet Explorer, one code is Microsoft Edge, whatever.
Why on earth would you be using Microsoft Edge? That is the worst browser
You know
that's
what?
ever
I've
been
had like
created.
2 questions today about Microsoft Edge. No. There you go.
I will dig within the bowels of the Windows 10 settings just to find Internet Explorer over Edge.
There you go. There you go. But that's how that works. The only exception really to like you can only use this code once is if for any reason you get booted from the room either before 9 a.m. or after 9 a.m., you can use that code to re-enter the waiting room and you're totally fine. If it's after 9 a.m., your place in line will be saved. So it's not like you get kicked to the end of the line in that case because you did log in originally before 9 a.m. So that's really about the only time, though, that you should be using your code again is if you run into any kind of issues. And as always, real quick reminder, if you run into any issues at all today, especially anytime after 9 a.m., screenshot. Screenshot your confirmation page, screenshot any error you get, screenshot anything of that nature. Because if you run into any kind of problems, you can contact Comic-Con International, and they have a contact form on the bottom of their site. And a lot of times, if it's a legitimate issue, like they're usually pretty good about trying to help you out. So
Don't forget, when things are going well, screenshot.
yes, take a screenshot of your confirmation at the end. Yes, especially because if you're purchasing for more than one person, originally, the first email that should go out today will just be like here's what you purchased, here's like the receipt. That only goes to the buyer originally. Right. So it's a really good idea, honestly, to take a screenshot of that confirmation page and then send it to the people who you're purchasing for. Obviously, you don't have to include like your credit card information, that kind of thing. Within a couple of days, I think it's something like 72 hours, that is when they will send each person their individual barcode email, but that will not happen today. So
yeah, that usually happens within 48 to 72 hours, best case scenario.
Yep. Okay, so let's go over a couple of common questions that we've had.
Oh, sorry, Carrie. Before we do, one thing I did remember. When you get to the buying page, make sure that everybody that you're buying for is also eligible, because you are on a 15-minute timer. And if you've got one code that's either mistyped or not eligible, you'll keep getting error messages for that code, and it won't let you buy for that person. Meanwhile, that 15-minute clock is ticking away. So it may sound like a lot of time, 15 minutes, but when things start going wrong or things get a little confused, it goes by a lot quicker than you think.
That's right. And one other thing I wanted to mention, we get this question every year, and every year people get it wrong, and every year people ask, what just happened? And we put together like a whole guide for it. We even did a flow chart. If you're in a badge buying group, especially a group that may have like a whole lot of people and maybe not everyone is like sitting in the same room communicating, it is so incredibly important that you guys talk to each other and be like, hey, someone else just took care of my badge, I'm good. And here's the reason why. When you are chosen to be the Cheerio, when you're chosen to purchase, the very first screen that you're going to see it'll have like this bluish tinted thing up at the top. It'll have some text, and then it will ask only for a member ID, just one member ID at first, and it will ask you to input the ID of an eligible person who you want to purchase a badge for. This absolutely does not have to be yourself. It can be anyone who is eligible today, but the thing is, if you enter anyone's ID who had a badge purchased for them already today, it'll kick you out. It'll basically just say, oh, well, that person already has a badge. You don't need to be here, and just kick you out. It's on the next screen after you click, this is the one I want. On the next screen where it'll say like, which days do you want? Enter the 3 member IDs. On that one, if you enter in the ID of someone who already has a badge today, it doesn't really care. It'll just tell you they already, like, that person's invalid, pick someone else, but it won't kick you out. But on that very first page, it is so incredibly important that you enter a member ID of someone. Again, it doesn't have to be you, just someone who you know doesn't have a badge yet. So please talk to your groups. Yes, communication is important.
It's the cornerstone to any really good relationship, especially an SDCC buying group.
That's right. All right. So Andy, what kind of questions have you seen about this sale?
Nothing that you really haven't gone over already.
We've had a couple people ask us when the hotel sale is going to be, which, first of all, let's get through this sale, please, please. Let's actually just get through both sales, and then we'll talk about hotels.
One apocalypse at a time.
Yes, one at a time, but I don't know. And truthfully, I think it's way too early. In the past, we've been able to get a date usually around January. Usually the hotel sale happens around like late March, early April. With things being a little bit earlier this year, I don't know if that time frame is going to hold. We have no more information than you do, but since they do seem to be in a hurry to move things right along right now, it wouldn't shock me if they moved that up to like February, March. Do you feel that way, Dave?
They also have to do their early bird sale, which runs for a specific amount of time typically.
Well, they don't have to do early bird.
They don't have to, but they have for many years now.
Yes.
So if they continue that, then once they do announce their early bird, you can expect it to be, I think it's in 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks after the early bird sale is typically when the regular sale is.
Yeah, it typically launches the day the early bird ends, but I think last year it didn't. I know
it took an extra day or two, possibly, but it's still around the time that early bird ends is when the hotel sale goes.
Yes, that's right.
Guys, I'd just like to interject. It's about 10 minutes until all hell breaks loose. So I would recommend using the facilities. If you got to go, now's the time.
That's right. And not only that, but hopefully you've taken your 4-legged friends out as well, because they deserve to not have to sit there. All right. Be nice to your pets, guys.
So just as a reminder, Comic-Con is July 18th through the 22nd next year. That's pretty typical, right in the middle of July. Nothing too big there. We can discuss all manner of what ifs and things, but really what it all is right now is just let's get through this. Let's get some people some badges. And
we
then
we'll
talk about other things.
Wait, do you want to do it at the end?
We can do it whenever you want.
Let's
Everyone's
do it
paying
now.
attention right now.
I know. Let's do it now while they're paying attention. Okay. So we know next to nothing about Comic-Con 2018 at this moment in time. We have seen a handful of offsites be announced. So like the D23 Mixer for members is going to be back. Yesterday, Supernatural Wiki announced that Wayward Cocktails is going to be back. And we are so excited to announce that on preview night again. So that's Wednesday, July 18th. We will be hosting Two Blog, Two Furious Gaslamp Drift somewhere in the Gaslamp.
The sequel to the sequel.
Yes, the sequel to the sequel. And my graphic designer was like, but since it's not the sequel anymore, should it not be like, should we take the twos off? And I was like, then we'd be blogging furious.
We'd be blogging furiously.
That's
which does happen.
It's a little too honest for me.
So technically that's accurate.
Yes. So we don't have any further details for you right now, but you might just keep that in mind. So if you don't get preview night today, you know you've got a free event that you can come and hang out with us, as fun as that sounds, I'm sure. So
Hey, we are darlings, okay? We are delights to spend time with.
That's right. That's right. We spoke to everyone who wanted to speak to us last year, I believe. So hopefully you guys had fun if you showed up.
And we
And
aren't too
possibly even
scary,
if
so
you
you
didn't, I
can
don't
come
know.
up and talk to us whenever you want. We're not too scary. Some of us are a little scary.
A little.
Mainly, who's the scariest one? Like me?
Oh, I think I am.
I'm just the new guy. I just sat in the corner and watched.
Yes. You guys talk for 1 second. I got to do something.
So someone mentioned, Noah Lollygaga mentioned they should do something cool for Comic-Con with the old Dick's Last Resort space and the Gans lamp. They did last year. That's where they held the sci-fi weddings, right?
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So they did do something. Maybe someone will rent it out again this year. I mean, basically, you can assume that virtually every empty space is going to get rented for something at Comic-Con almost every year, and sometimes not every empty space. But yeah, everything will most likely have something.
Yes.
Yeah, especially a prime location like that, just steps away from the convention center. It's close, it's convenient. You know something's going to be there.
Basically.
Yes. Everything.
So-
Basically, everything is so expensive during Comic-Con that you can pretty much guarantee that like people will make use of any and all available space. Don't worry.
I mean, when they started announcing the offsites, and it's just, what's the name? The Promenade, I think is
Yes.
is
The
it
MLK Promenade. Yeah.
That thing was what? From Qualcomm all the way down to the Embassy Suites. There was something along that area there. It was just a row of stuff. You know, the Tick and the Walking Dead and everything. They just take use of every bit of open space.
It's grown so much in the last couple of years.
See, now somebody's asking the important question. Jennifer asks, "Will Gary be back?" Gary will be back,
And so will all of our prizes.
even though we don't want him to,
No.
because he's a jerk.
He really
But yes, guess what? Yes, this will be returning.
Yes. That's right.
Adventures of Prize Mule will be returning.
That's right. The sales should be kicking off here in just a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline that happened last year. So again, at 9 a.m. Pacific time, they will take a couple minutes to sort us all. It usually takes anywhere between, like, last year it took 7 minutes, and previous years it took 10 minutes. So after they sort everybody, then we'll start getting through to purchase badges. Last year, it looks like preview night sold out in 23 minutes. And I'm basically saying 23 minutes after 9. 43 minutes after 9 a.m., Saturday sold out, which was followed really closely by Friday at 46 minutes. Thursday took a little bit longer at 55 minutes into the sale. And then finally at 58 minutes, Sunday sold out. As always, so that was about 50 minutes total, or not 50, that was about 60 minutes total. Yeah, it's ranged everywhere from about a 50-minute sale to almost an hour and a half. So somewhere in that time frame is about how long the sale will take. And the really important thing to remember is don't let today get you discouraged no matter what happens. Like, first of all, yes, you absolutely have a much better chance today than you do in open registration because the pool of people is smaller, but you still have open registration even if you don't get a badge today. So no matter what happens today, like, your journey to Comic-Con is not over today. Plenty of people get badges in both sales. And if let's say today you get some of the badges you want, but not all of them, Andy, tell us what happens.
Well, if you get some of the badges that you want today, you can go ahead and participate in open registration to try to get any that you may have missed. Or if worst case scenario, if that fails, there's still volunteer registration if you're on the volunteer interest list. There are contests that go out every year. We have a contest hub that you can keep an eye on. Any and all contests that are out there, be they radio, television, internet. Last year, I think it was Traveling Stories had a really good contest going, but we consolidate all of them there, and you can certainly check back. I'd say check that every day once we hit June, because that's when the contests really start to get up.
And Van Deo just brought up a really excellent point in our chat. He said, agreed, don't let today get you down. Last year got Thursday and Sunday. Then in open registration got the rest of the days, including preview night. And not only that, but like, honestly, even if for any reason you don't get all 4 days, you're still going to go and have an amazing time. Like, there is something awesome happening at Comic-Con every single day. And maybe you get to see some stuff that you wouldn't have thought you would because you're not there for as long. Like, there is no bad day at Comic-Con. We say this every single year.
Agreed. And the feedback that we've gotten from a lot of people is that this past year, the offsites were a lot better than they have been in the past. Mm-hmm. So for the days that you don't get, you hit offsites that day. There's always something to do. If you can't get into the convention center, there's always something to do around it.
That's right.
Also, don't forget, I mean, they're over now, but if you have a spare $6,000 or $7,000 laying around, Comic-Con just auctioned off some two badges per auction for UNICEF. So, you know,
yes, they're gonna have
all of our rich friends. If you have $6,000 or $7,000 laying around, you can go to Comic-Con with a friend.
I mean, really,
you're gonna have more options too.
You get a pair of badges. So really, you just need 2 people with $3,100.
Hey, there you go. No,
Right
I want to find a
side.
rich friend to take me along. I mean, come on.
I see.
Really?
I mean, at least thank God it's for charity.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, come on. That was what? Was it 4 or 6 auctions this time? Was it 4?
It was 4. There will be 6 auctions today. I may have already launched. Soon, sometime today.
Oh, it says they're doing it again after the sale.
Something like that.
Yeah. And
so,
these ones that'll open won't be 24 hours. They'll be 72, I think. So
yes.
But that first one, when they listed it, went straight up to over $7,000 in like 10 minutes. It was a little crazy. Oh, hey, I think I can share this now because it is 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So
Looks like we just hit 9 a.m.
So let's go with share. And it is time for returning registration. And yes, it is that scary, people.
it is. It is that scary.
No, actually, it's not. It's just that stressful.
I was still proud of that graphic.
It is very cool. I like it. All right.
All right.
So now we're going to start seeing people say that their screen says we're sorting everyone. So the sorting hat goes first.
Yep.
And then people will start being let in almost immediately, but they have to do the sorting, which I think doesn't take very long.
Yeah. And let us know, like, especially as you get badges, as you see things sell out, like, let us know so that we can let other people know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will say though, this seems to be like the most error-free waiting room I've seen in a while. So that's a great sign, and hopefully,
knocking on wood.
Hopefully that means that we'll get people through really quickly today. So no sense in prolonging the stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. All right. This is always the fun part. So
Not seeing anybody in yet.
Okay, so I mentioned this earlier, but Stan Gates 20 mentioned this. Saw a message in the yellow. Apparently there is a way to get back in your same sorting group if you get kicked out. Yes, like I said earlier, so long as you entered the waiting room by 9 a.m., now that they are starting to sort, all you have to do if you get kicked out is just go log back in with that same code. You will not lose your place in line, even though there's not really a line. And you'll be fine. So if your internet cuts out for a second, who knows, whatever happens, you will be okay. Let's see here.
About trying because it always gives me trouble, and I couldn't remember how to log into my Google because my Google.
Hey, Andy, will you mute?
I just said, "Fuck it."
What's that?
Nothing. Do we see any questions? Let's
Hey,
ask
there's
on
a
Twitter.
good suggestion. David Wright says Bob Ross has a marathon on Twitch if you need to relax later.
Oh, that would definitely do it.
Take a shot.
Yeah. Just, here, let me see if I can do that. And then you wait for the spinning blue circle, and it zips blue. And as you wait, you hopefully will have something to drink and something to eat.
Hold on. Somebody just says they got in all 5 days. So sales are happening.
Okay.
Wow. That was fast.
That was fast.
Please enjoy on repeat my Bob Ross impersonation.
So this is, like I said, this is the fastest anyone has ever gotten in. So
Is there a sound when you get in? No, the page just changes.
yeah, the page just changes. So
If you haven't gone to the restroom by now, I'm sorry, you have to sit and watch.
I mean, you've got 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, if you go, unless you have bathroom issues, I mean, you're going to get back in time. So.
Yes. And Comic Con International pointed this out as well, and it's a really good tip. As you're taking screenshots, make sure you don't include your URL, because your URL actually has your registration code in it. So theoretically, someone could go type that code in and deauthorize your login. So it's totally fine to take screenshots, just don't include your URL. Let's see here. Oh, you're not funny. All right, I guess he didn't get in. He said, just kidding.
Ugh.
Oh, so
Don't do that. Don't be that person.
Yeah,
No.
don't be that guy.
Don't be that person. Please, don't be an asshole.
Language.
Still seeing people not so patiently waiting.
All right, have we seen anyone actually get through yet?
I haven't yet.
Okay. Let's see here.
That's dedication right there. Someone
What?
says they have an adult diaper on.
Oh,
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
no judgment here. You do what you got to do.
All right. I still haven't seen anyone reporting getting through.
No.
So let's...
Although the gif of Manny from Modern Family crossing himself is cracking me up right now.
Yeah, I think it's just basically a bunch of people vibrating in their chairs, just
Yes.
waiting for something to happen.
It should be happening soon, though. Like I said, it took 7 minutes last year and 10 minutes the 2 years before. So we're 6 minutes in. So it should be happening very soon.
So Monster X Berry said someone in my group just got in.
Okay.
Someone asked Quinn Allison asked any news on regular registration dates. There's no actual specific date. They just said it would be later this year, I think was the generic thing. So,
Well,
in about a month or so.
It was the generic thing, but they said look for an announcement late November, early December. They said that somewhere. So since the announcement would be coming in that time frame, I would very much assume that it will be like the second or third weekend of December. Would be my guess.
And on Twitter, someone asked, do days sell out today? And if so, are you able to try for the sold out days in open registration? Yes, all days will sell out today that are available today. But they, of course, have every day available again because they save a certain amount of tickets for open registration. So this is just a certain
Yes.
number of all the passes available, like, half or 40% or whatever. And then the
Yes.
rest are available in open registration.
Yes. Do we have anybody in yet? Not that I've seen, except that one person, but I want more confirmation.
I just saw somebody post on Twitter that 1 minute before 9, their Wi-Fi went down.
Ooh, that would be terrible.
My heart goes out to whomever that is.
McCord on Twitter asked, my son is a junior. Will I be able to pay with my card if we get a session on his registration code? Yes, the credit card is not tied to the account. You just pay with whichever credit card you have available.
Okay, so people are getting through now.
Excellent. So that was about 7 or 8 minutes in.
Yeah,
That's not too bad.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, looks like Lisa got hers.
Yep. So someone on our staff just got there, so that's good.
Yay!
So again, I mean, it's pretty. This should go on. So it looks like right now we're probably on about last year's timing. So I forget what I even just said, but preview night last year took 24 minutes. So we should have probably about like 15 minutes before it sells out. So do we have any questions from people about anything related to this? What questions do you guys have?
I'm looking.
I saw one more person post on Twitter that they got in.
Someone said, my son is a junior. Will I be able to pay with my
That's
card?
what I did.
Oh, you did? Never mind.
I answered a good one.
You did. All right. What do we have? What do we have?
Someone was asking, which, I know it doesn't even matter right now, but someone was asking if they think what Hall H may change next year. There's going to be a change. With what happened last year,
Yeah.
they're going to make changes. So we just have to wait and see what those changes are.
Yeah, I know. People keep asking me, though, like, what are the changes going to be? And I'm like, we're not going to know that until, like, I would say June at the earliest. So let's just get badges first, and then
Yeah.
we can.
They don't announce the Hall H.
No.
For the last few years, they don't announce the policy for Hall H until about 2 weeks before the con. 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. They're not going to announce something in January unless they feel like, because, why would they? Then people will just have that many more months to try and figure out a way around it. Because that's what people are going to do.
Polly just asked what happened last year. Do you want to give a quick recap of that, James?
Sure. What happened last year is, I'm pretty sure there's 2 reasons how this happened. One, someone posted a photo of some of the wristbands early. Or 2, someone who was working for one of the vendors or at the convention center or something got the wristbands early. And someone else took those and made counterfeits. And people were apparently selling them in the line. And people were cutting in line with those wristbands. And by the time they let in Hall H on Saturday, there were roughly 400 or so people with wristbands, valid wristbands, who were not let in. And why this is such a big deal is because they don't actually hand out enough wristbands to fill Hall H. So they shouldn't even have gotten to the point where there were people left with wristbands, because they hand out like 6,000 for a 6,500 seat room. So there were hundreds of counterfeit wristbands or other ways people got in that were not valid. And so what they did is they were very generous to those people stuck outside. They gave them passes to this year. And then basically you can assume they're going to be making a change because they need to cut out a way of counterfeiting the wristbands, essentially. There needs to be a way to tie it to badges or something. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do something.
Yeah, they may not even formally announce anything. If you guys remember this past year, they closed off that staircase. I forget exactly which staircase it's called.
It's just the one in front, basically.
Right. They completely closed that off altogether, and they didn't announce that they were doing it. Just the week they were setting up, all of a sudden signs started going up saying this staircase is closed.
Let's see here.
Yeah, Van Dow points out that it wasn't just the fake wristbands, it was the poor line management further away from the
Yes.
convention center.
Yes.
where
Line
people were
management
cutting in
was
line.
so awful last year, like on every front. So awful.
So yeah, there was a lot of stuff. And the thing is that it was obviously counterfeit wristbands that kept people from being able to be let in, because you shouldn't have been in without a wristband. I mean, we heard horror stories of people just randomly walking into the line with like a similar color wristband and making it in, just because they kind of just pushed their way through, and security may not have been paying enough attention. Who knows? But yeah, there was a lot of problems last year that they have to fix.
Somebody from the group is in.
But now about the fun stuff, people are getting tickets. I saw someone say that with the fees, because they have a $5 process handling fee now, the total per ticket, if you get everything, is $281. So it did go up a little bit, but then they added that fee to make it go up just a little bit more. Let's see if we have any other questions to answer here. So people are definitely buying. We've had multiple people tell us that they just got in.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of celebratory tweets.
Not much going on except for people buying badges and seeing what we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so this is the fun
this is
part
great.
though, because all 4 days plus preview night are still available as at this exact moment in time. So people getting through will have all days available to them. So that's great.
Seriously.
Things get a little bit more nerve-wracking.
As we close in on the 20
Yeah.
it's going to take for preview night to sell out.
Who left the bag?
Committed Comics wants to know what that photo is behind you, Andy. Is it signed or just a wedding photo?
Oh, the photo behind me is actually my daughter's graduation photo. That's my daughter when we had her graduation party. Our family signed a picture for her, so it's a family exclusive. Let's put it that way. Now my Comic-Con art wall is on the other wall. I'm set up in a different room today.
Woo, people are still getting in. It's great.
Yeah.
Is the last name case sensitive?
I'm not sure. But it should be okay because you have to like validate it. So if it's wrong, it should tell you. Right?
Right. Yeah. Without
So-
kicking you out, hopefully.
Yes. It should. Normally on that page, it'll just tell you like this member ID is invalid or something along those lines. It won't, like we said, it won't like actually kick you out.
So it looks like people are getting in, and people are typically not getting in this early, so at least the randomness is random.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had, I think Jermaine just asked on the chat too if case member name was case sensitive. We're not sure, but we don't think it is. And apparently the yellow lines are not funny this year for some reason.
I mean, some of them were earlier. There was an it one earlier. But yeah, these ones aren't that funny. Somebody said Comic-Con Twitter feed is eerily silent about badge sales. Do you mean like the official Twitter? Because they never tweet. They never tweet.
That's not new.
They will tweet like as badge types sell out. So like when preview night sells out, they'll send a tweet. When Saturday sells out, they'll send a tweet. That's about it. All right. Use up pass. Preview night's still up, so that's good. That's good. That's good. I know these podcasts are so fun for you guys, right?
Right. We are the calm amidst the storm. We're just like, I'm just eating a donut, chatting.
I know. I was so sad. See, this is why I do not like doing all 4 badge sales in one year, especially like doing open registration late in the year instead of spring, because normally during badge sales, my like snack of choice is always wine and Girl Scout cookies, but there are no Girl Scout cookies, and there won't be in December either. So you kind of messed me up here a little bit, Comic-Con. Like, do I have to like buy some and hoard them for like 8 months?
Anthony Salati says he just got in, purchased all 4 days. Member names are not case sensitive.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Committed Comics said the second set of auctions are live on eBay if you've got your 7K handy. Yeah, pretty much. All right.
And he said double up on the wine.
Yeah, that's not a bad suggestion.
It's a valid choice.
It is. It's probably what's going to happen. All right.
What happens if you don't want preview night? Well, don't buy it. If it's available, just don't click that button.
Yeah, and truthfully, do you know what else is great about not buying preview night? If you have friends who don't get their badges today or who aren't eligible for the sale, when open registration comes around, you can still participate and you can help them try to buy their badges. If you do buy all 4 days plus preview night today, you will not be eligible to participate in open registration because there are no badge types available to you. You've bought everything there is to buy. So.
Yep. On Twitter, VPT wants to know if they'll announce when it's getting low. They usually do on the yellow bar. Not necessarily on Twitter or anywhere else, but typically somewhere they will.
Somebody just asked, did the badges always have a $5 handling fee, or is that new this year? It is new this year. We mentioned this the other day on Twitter, but it's a $5 fee per member that you purchase for, basically. So it's not like if you buy a Thursday and a Sunday badge that you're going to be charged $10. It's per member that you purchase any days for. So $5 per person.
Bud says, still haven't got in yet, thinking about throwing my laptop.
Don't do that.
The unofficial blog suggests not throwing electronics around. That is our official stance.
It is our official stance. It's
until after you buy the badges. Then you can go ahead and throw things around, but then we're not responsible for that because you're probably going to have to go spend money to have it fixed or buy a new one.
Stan Gaze 20 said, pretty sure you could still participate in open registration last year even if you bought everything. That is incorrect. Like I say, if you buy preview night, like they basically say you have nothing else available to you, you don't need to be in the sale, so they don't give you a code.
Darth
Let's-
Porgula, which awesome name, wants to know what our Halloween plans and costumes are.
Pajamas. In my own home. James?
No costumes. Might head over to Disneyland.
There you go. There you go. We did a haunted house like last week, but I'm not doing anything actual Halloween.
Nah. I mean, if Sean was here, it'd be like, I'm going to hit 42 different haunts and mazes, and that's only in the evening.
Preview night is running low.
What?
I mean, it's about normal timing. Like I said, it took 24 minutes. Last year, we're at 22. So we're basically like right on last year's timing. Hello, dog. Hi.
Not enough attention for the last hour.
No attention ever. All right. Let's see what we got. Somebody said it's sold out, but let's make sure before we tweet.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter, Comic-Con International posted that preview night is sold out.
Did they? All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, they did.
That's okay, people. It's just preview night.
It is just preview night.
It's just preview night. I haven't been to preview night in years.
Nor have I. See, again, if you didn't get preview night, do you know where you can come? Too Blog, Too Furious, Gaslamp Drift. Done.
There you go.
There you go.
Or any one of the other dozens of offsites, or just, go have a nice meal before the weekend really starts.
Yes, absolutely.
Or drink heavily to make sure you're in a proper frame of mind for the rest of the weekend. It just depends on what you're doing.
It does. I do not recommend drinking, though, prior to camping out. I did that one year. That was not a good idea. Not a good
Drunk,
idea.
sleeping on cement.
I was at least
sounds
on
like
the grass.
college.
I was on the grass. I froze. I didn't bring my jackets, but I had a blog shirt in my backpack, so I was like huddling for warmth under it. It was bad. It was bad, guys. All right.
If that's the worst thing that happened to you, I think you're still doing okay.
It is kind of the worst thing that's happened to me at Comic-Con, so. All right. And again, you have the opportunity, if you didn't get preview night, you have the opportunity to try to pick it up in open registration.
Yep.
Or it'll be okay if you just don't go to preview night one year. It really will. It's not the end of the world.
Right. And don't forget, preview night will be available for open reg. So if you didn't get it now, you have another chance.
Yes. So since at the moment, at least, we seem to be virtually on exactly last year's timing. One more time, I'll point out, last year, Saturday was the next badge type to sell out, and it sold out at 9:43. So we are currently at 9:25. So you've got quite a while. So.
You in?
Yeah, so far, still not seeing any issues or incidents or accidents.
No, like I said, I mean, this batch sale seems to be going really smoothly, which is great. Hopefully we've pretty much worked out all the kinks. Still the same people getting through.
Yeah.
And purchasing. So that's great. Let's see here. This is weird. Derek Bright said, a friend got through all days, but it only charged his wife and myself a $5 fee, but no days for 2 of us.
Yeah, that is weird.
I would point that out to someone. I would email and be like, if you're not going to give us badges, please don't charge me.
4 or 6 people have purchased from this group.
All right. Andy, if you didn't see, Beth is getting yours.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's see here.
My username is left.
What do we have? Who has questions? Tabby Warrior just said that the eBay auctions are all, or at least one of them is already at 5,000.
Yeah, I saw them.
And
I saw
we
them 3. I
have
think that there are a couple more up.
2.5 days to go.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right. What questions do we have? Again, 4 days are still available. So that's good.
So we did confirm it's only a $5 fee per ticket, not $5 fee per day.
It should be, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on the total over there.
Okay. Yes.
Get Ali and Scott.
So yeah, you might have to pay $5 twice, but only if you buy during returning and open.
Yes.
I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this.
But that one person made it sound like they only got charged the $5 fee and didn't get any badges.
Nice.
I would not
good.
be okay with that. That's funny. Let's see here. All right, guys. Derek asked, I asked if anybody had any questions, and we were asked, what is your favorite color?
Didn't we get asked this last year? I'm pretty
Riveting
sure we did.
entertainment for you guys, I'm sure.
Are we crossing the bridge of death? Because if so, I really want to get this one right.
Well, mine's green. That's funny.
Now, is it my favorite color or my favorite color to eat?
Well, I can tell you guys what my favorite color is. You know, it's a nice little Penn State blue right there.
Okay, so Toon Boy just asked a question. If I want preview night, should I wait for open registration to buy?
Okay.
No, no, you should not. Get anything you can today, and you can pick up anything else in open reg. So yeah, so just when you get through today, even if you're like, gosh, I don't know if I really want just Thursday, Sunday badges, if everything else is sold out, go ahead and just buy them, because again, in open registration, there's a very strong possibility that you can get through. And Comic-Con International does allow refunds. Now, they will keep 10% now for a restocking fee. It's been that way for a couple years. But through, I believe it's May 14th, you can get a refund. So you will know long before then if you got anything in open reg, and you can decide after that point if you really think it's not worth it to go. But again, we think it is. We think you should go any day you can, because there's offsites, there's so much awesome stuff that you can do the other days, and it'll be just fine. And Riza19 asked, if I did not get preview night this time and log in for open registration, does that mean I give up my current 4 badges? No, you don't. You basically are just adding to what you already had. So actually, let's say you get all 4 days, but not preview night. In open registration, if you get chosen, the only thing that you will even be able to like click to say that you want is preview night, because the system already knows that you have the other days. So yeah. How are we doing timeline wise? Like I said, we're doing good. We seem to be almost exactly on pace with last year, which if that holds true, Saturday should sell out here at about 9:43. So we should have a little bit to go.
Let's see. David Mays asked, have you heard of anyone getting busted for buying a resold badge? I mean, not very specifically, but I do know that Comic-Con is very diligent about keeping an eye on Craigslist and eBay and actually making sure that those resold badges are taken out. And if they ever do track someone, they will take away their member ID and ban them. And the badges are nulled, basically, so they can't be used.
Yes, and this is also a good reminder. If you do decide that you don't want to go, absolutely make sure that you do not resell your badge. You can't give it to someone else. You can't sell it to someone else. Your only option is basically to contact Comic-Con International and ask for a refund, which again, they'll keep a 10% restocking fee. But if you get in any way caught, like, yeah, if you want to ever return to Comic-Con. One other question though that we get a lot of is, if I buy a badge and for some reason I'm not able to attend this year, am I still eligible for returning registration for 2019? And what Comic-Con International has said on this subject the last 2 years is basically, as of this moment in time, the rule is you don't have to show up. Like, so long as you have purchased a badge, you're still eligible. However, they retain the right to change their minds at any given point in time. So I would basically say, if you want to make sure you're still eligible for returning registration, keep the badge. Because I think the only way that they will change it is if it becomes like a huge problem. Like if 20% of people are buying badges and not showing up, like that's a huge problem. But I think
it's not. That's 20% less people in the show. It's not a problem.
It's a huge problem for Comic-Con International and the vendors. It would not be a bad thing for the rest of us. But
20% fewer people in Hall H line.
God, that would be amazing. So yeah, maybe everyone just do that.
Buy a badge, don't show up. We'll have fun.
Please. No.
But do show up to Two Blog, Too Furious, Gaslamp Drift.
Yes, please. All right. I keep putting in my bat. Okay, I don't know what she's referring to.
I was about ready to answer that on there.
Victoria Vargas asked, I'm trying to log in with my 2017 badge, but it's not logging me in. I'm trying to get badge. I keep putting in my badge name and password right. It's not your password. It's your member ID and last name.
Everybody's answering that one.
That's right. Yes. At no point in time do you need anyone's password. At no, like, not even your own.
John wants to know, he just got his 4-day pass. Question, if I accidentally entered the wrong billing details, do I get another chance to correct the mistake? They usually email you if there's a problem with the purchase, correct?
Yeah, they definitely want your money. So if there's a problem, they will let you know.
Yeah. Still plenty of people saying they got in, and then plenty of people saying they're not.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing people saying that they got all 4 days.
Yeah, like I said, we seem to be on last year's timeline, so it should still be a little bit before Saturday sells out. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right.
Oh, look at all the silence. There's lots of silence. I have to talk while there's
I know.
silence. I can't.
No,
Allow
please
the
do.
silence.
This, please do.
Oh. I am going to, the favorite color thing. So I asked if it was favorite color or favorite color to eat. So favorite color to eat is orange. Favorite color, I don't think I can answer that. I don't think that I need people to know that kind of information about me. Just kidding, it's probably blue.
Oh, I
Hey,
thought
look-
that was getting a little too personal. I thought it was too
Hey,
weird.
look, guys. Comic-Con International just said what I've been saying for like 5 years. Working in a buying group, remember, your member ID will not validate if it is currently being used in another registration session. This includes abandoned registration sessions. Carefully manage your buying group or you could get shut out.
Boo.
So, again, talk to your people. It's all it takes is just talk to your people, okay?
Frank entered Joe's buying ID, and then Joe entered it, and Joe got kicked out. Don't be Joe.
That's right. What he said.
Looks like friend Dennis got in for his 9th year, so that's good.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Now, James, how many years have you been going now?
This year will be my 25th year in a row.
Quarter of a century.
Yep. Been going since
Bananas.
1994.
Absolutely bananas.
And that means after this year, I will no longer feel the need to go every year, and I might actually skip randomly as I need to go to places like Disney World or Australia instead.
Don't leave me.
Listen, if you've been to one Disney park, you've been to all of them.
I can
That's
do
not true.
like 90% of what I do at Comic-Con, I can do on my computer at home. Because I mean,
Yeah.
really just make sure we track everything, and I can basically be the eye in the sky, right? I just won't get to go to Comic-Con. He's like, no, it
Silence.
doesn't.
Silence.
You're coming down for preview night, so help with that.
Yes.
And then you're coming down for the thing and the other thing. Oh, you're just gonna have to go every year. Well,
Yeah, I mean that's basically where you're at.
how will I
Committed
get
comic.
the con cred?
Yes.
I think I can do without the con cred. Thank you very much.
Listen, it's like Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave.
Victoria's still having problems. What are you supposed to put for the password? The password is not really a password. It's your code that they sent you in your email, or it's in your member ID. So you have to either find that email or log into your member ID.
I just got through, so I'm going dark for a second.
Okay. So yeah. So Victoria, you need that code. It's not a password. You need your member ID or your last name, I think it is, and
Yes.
And that code that they send you. It's not a password. So when they get to that screen, after the spinning blue circle, the next screen, if you get in, that's what you need. So everyone else, you're good. You ever know what it is now? We don't need to answer that again.
Oh, another question we keep getting asked is, as far as junior and senior badges go, specifically for junior badges, if somebody is 17 right now, but they're turning 18 before Comic-Con, will they still be getting charged for a junior badge? The answer is yes. It goes by the age you are when the badge is purchased. So for a junior, if you're 17 now, yes, you're going to get charged for a junior rate. For seniors, if you are, I believe the age is 60, if you're 60 right now, you'll be charged for a senior badge rate.
Also,
Thursday, so we're getting Charlene a badge right now.
Polly asked, can you buy tickets for someone who isn't a returning person?
And still have to
No.
for somebody
You
else.
have to be, every person you're buying for has to be valid for returning registration.
And yes, if you put in a code that is ineligible, if you're just trying to get into the buying room, it will yell at you and not let you in. If you're already in the buying room, it will yell at you and not let you buy for that person. So like I said before, you've got a 15-minute time limit. You don't want to waste it trying to put in an ineligible code.
Also, if you did not get the email, if they did not email you, which it might happen, log into your member ID. If you're valid for returning registration because you went last year, your code will be in your member ID under the returning registration or somewhere in there. I don't know. I don't have it, so I don't know where it is, but it's in your member ID somewhere.
You're absolutely right, James. And just a quick look, when you log into your member ID, it will tell you in the upper right-hand corner if you're eligible or not. If
you're not eligible, you will have no code. If you are eligible, you will have a code.
Exactly.
And you can get in. So we have not seen that Saturday is sold out yet. So, and I'm thinking we're closing in on about the same time that it sold out last year. So it probably will start running low soon. And we just want to reiterate that if it gets down to the end and only Thursday or Sunday is left, and you get in, buy it. Because even if you just get the one day, obviously, yes, you want to go to Comic-Con for one day, but that's just so you can be guaranteed to be able to participate next year as well, is to be able to have at least one day ticket. And then you can get the other ones, hopefully, in open registration.
Exactly. And if worst comes to worst, you're at least going for that one day. So you come down here, you enjoy as much of that one day as you possibly can. And then you spend the rest of your time hitting your offsites. We have the zoo. And if you're in San Diego and you're bored, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, right. Someone on Twitter asked, are prices different for seniors? My friend got their tickets cheaper. Yes, seniors and juniors are lower priced.
Yes,
so
seniors
will be a little less.
Seniors pay the same price as military.
Oh, and military is cheaper then as well.
What's that?
That means military pays less as well.
Yes, but only active duty.
And Jennifer Jones asked if tickets are only available for like Saturday or Sunday and you purchase it, can you attempt to buy other days in March during the other sale? Well, it won't be in March. It'll probably be later this year or very early next year. But yes, in open registration, if you don't buy all days, you will be able to buy the other days, or at least have the chance to be able to buy the other days. Right. We can't guarantee. Comic-Con never guarantees you're going to be able to buy a ticket. The only way you can get them is if you get lucky enough to be chosen and go in when tickets are still available.
So I'm back. A couple of cool things, actually. Apparently they finally changed it, and thank God. Now on that first screen, if you enter a member ID that has already been used, it no longer kicks you out.
Oh, so they changed that.
It instead now basically tells you that this person already has badges. So, Andy, I guess your wife had badges.
Okay.
Your daughter didn't know, so I got hers.
Oh, you got for my daughter?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. That was the only one on our list that actually didn't. And the other cool thing was it looks like you now pretty much immediately get an order acknowledgement email.
Somebody else got Shar. Yeah, Andy's friend from the blog.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, we just got confirmation.
Hey, Andy, will you?
Just pick somebody else.
So,
let's see here.
Oh, yeah. Not during.
So, yeah, so Saturday should be selling out here really soon. Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, still seeing all 5 days.
4 days.
Oh, yeah, 4 days. Thank you.
Yeah, but it should be happening soon.
People are still getting Thursday through Sunday currently.
That's great. Yeah. So congratulations to everybody who's getting badges, and everybody else, again, deep breath. You, number one, the sale is still not over. Number two, you still have open registration. And number three, even if for some reason both of those fall through, there's so many options. Like, you can still choose to go down and enjoy the offsites. You can try for contests, like Andy said earlier. Like, there are so many ways to enjoy this convention, and sometimes stepping outside of your bubble and doing something different than what you normally would results in you having so much more fun, or at least that's been my experience.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Sometimes,
last
yeah.
year I did do panels like 3 of the 4 days. So I was in a panel room essentially the entire time. But the previous year I was in panels for like 3 hours in the convention center itself. And I was doing offsites, Conan, Nerd HQ, all those other things, Carnival. So there's always things to do. And every year you can choose to do something different. Or you can do some of the same things and something different, or completely do the same thing every single year because you love it and you are not going to change, and change is bad.
That's right.
It's up to you to make your Comic-Con the best it can be.
Very, very true. I've been experimenting with a few things over the past couple of years, and I haven't been bored yet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get bored at Comic-Con. I mean, really. Sir Lister of Smeg said if they had $5,000, they'd find a con in Tokyo to go to. I'm pretty sure that Waz, who runs Silicon Valley Comic Con, is going to be running a Tokyo Comic Con as well. So there is one there. And yes, Stang Ace 20 says, tired, yes, bored, no. Exactly.
Yes.
You will be tired, just like you will not be bored. It's up to you to not be bored. Apparently, Saturday is getting low.
Yes, Comic-Con International just tweeted that out. Oh, just tweeted that Saturday badges have sold out.
Sold out?
Sold out.
That's crazy. They didn't even give us much of a warning that they were low.
No.
Whatever.
So just like last year, Saturday is the one that sold out next.
Question
Okay.
from Toon Boy: is it easier to buy WonderCon or New York Comic Con? WonderCon.
Absolutely,
Yes.
WonderCon. New York Comic Con is difficult to buy for. It's not like this level, but it absolutely
close.
it's getting there. It absolutely does sell out. Yeah. So yeah, so Saturday's sold out. So the next thing that sells out should be Friday, and it's normally pretty quick here after Saturday sold out. So let's see here. So last year, Saturday sold out 43 minutes in. This year, it sold out 48. So just a little bit slower.
Okay.
Friday last year sold out at 46 minutes in. So maybe here within the next 5 minutes, Friday will likely be gone. Yeah.
All right. And again, for those of you who were dying for Saturday and didn't get it this time, remember, open registration is still coming up.
Well, here you go. Kendall just said Thursday at New York Comic Con didn't sell out until just a week prior. So
That's crazy talk.
yeah.
WonderCon, can you still get badges on site?
No,
No.
Okay.
You
they
have to-
do the same process for Comic-Con, that only online sales.
But having said that, I mean,
Saturday's the only one that sold out in advance, and I think that
Yeah.
was only a week or so before.
yes, Saturday sells out in advance. So if you wanted to attend like Friday or Sunday last year, you could literally like buy it on your phone and then like walk up.
Yeah.
So yes, you have to buy it in advance, but not necessarily that in advance.
I think they did sell out one of the other days, possibly. I can't remember this
They
year,
have in the
but
past. Usually Sunday doesn't. Friday usually does, but yeah. Friday is low, and someone asked first time registration is when? First time registration is sometime in late 2017. My money is on mid-December.
wait, no. I don't want it to be mid-December. That's a lot going on.
CCI
That's when The Last Jedi's coming out. We're going to be like, mainlining that at the theater.
Friday sold out.
Yeah, CCI just tweeted Friday sold out, and that was at 9:52.
Yep.
So it's only a little bit.
Yeah.
So now the rest of the dominoes are going to fall pretty soon.
Yes. So it's Thursday usually goes before Sunday, but they pretty much go at the same time. So, and really what all of this tells you is that most people purchase all 4 days. And that's why they all tend to sell out pretty much one right after the other then.
Right. Amy K.
And again,
and K. And K on Twitter asks, can you get a hotel outside of the special hotel day? Absolutely. Hotels are available. It's just they may not be as cheap. And that's air quotes cheap, by the way.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have more and more people getting in. How long does it typically take to get an email on your badge purchase? In the past, it has been within 72 hours, but apparently they're emailing fairly quick today.
Yes. So the email that they're sending out is really just an order acknowledgement. It's not even like it says we will process your credit card payment within the next 48 hours. And if your card is successfully charged, you will receive a receipt of the transaction. If your card is declined, you will receive a follow-up email from Expo Logic with the opportunity to resubmit payment. But it does have a recap of what you just purchased. So it's really nice that they're actually sending that out this year because usually they don't necessarily.
People are still getting their tickets. So, and remember, even though for those who are in, and you see the thing saying Friday is sold out, that means that everyone who's in to buy tickets has the option before that's announced to actually get Friday. But anyone coming in after that, Friday is sold out. So if you were already in when that was announced, you probably have Friday available. But that will be gone soon.
Still seeing celebrations on Twitter.
Yep. Absolutely. Cavi says, got Thursday and Sunday last year and enjoyed myself regardless.
There's so much to do at this convention. Like, it's not at all about necessarily what's just in the convention center. And it hasn't been for a very long time.
And since they can't expand within the convention center, the offsites have been expanding exponentially every year.
Offsites are where it's at. Like, people put
Really?
so much money into the offsites this year. Like, I felt way more, honestly, than they did on the floor, which I was fine with because I would much prefer like an experience over like walking past a cool booth. But that's just me. Not everyone feels the same way. Yeah.
Do we think the badge will be another Walking Dead promo image?
I don't know. Maybe.
Does AMC have anything else that they would rather put on there besides Walking Dead?
I don't think so.
Preacher.
I don't think Preacher's doing that well.
It got renewed for a third season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Someone mentioned that Blade Runner was amazing, and yes, I didn't get to go to that one, but the offsites, I think the offsites went just a bit more towards fully immersive and more than just come by and pick up this free swag. They really did a good job on some of the offsites and just elevating them to event status, not just we're trying to sell you a movie status. See Carrie's review of the Westworld offsite for that.
Oh my God, that was still like the greatest thing I've ever done at Comic-Con, like hands down. Mr. Robot was cool too. Kendall commented on that. I liked Mr. Robot. And that was cool because it was like interactive, like you had to solve puzzles, like to even get into it, and yeah.
Now, and don't forget, I also reviewed the Blade Runner offsite,
Yes.
which I thought was incredibly well done.
Yeah, I think the only offsite I really managed to do was the Legion VR one, and I thought that was pretty cool. But that was the only one I got to do because I was in panels.
Reza asked, how much time do we have until we can expect sold out tickets? Honestly, at this point, I would say like any minute. As
I'm going to say in 4.5 minutes.
okay. That's weirdly specific.
Yeah, and that's quite
I am
precise.
always weird and always specific,
Well,
except when I'm not.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Nope. What we got going on? Okay.
What would make my days is if it turned out correct.
If you get a refund, are you still considered a returning member?
Okay, so we talked about this earlier. Well, no, we didn't. If you get a refund on all of your days, no, you are not a returning member. However, what I would do in that case is I would ask for a refund for all except one day. I would keep that one day, not go. And then, according to CCI, you have returning registration for next year. Now, again, they reserve the right to change their minds. But my personal opinion is the risk, like $40 is worth not having to stress more than I need to in open registration. That's my personal bet.
Yes, that's the best idea.
So I will pay $40 for a sense of calmness. I will not pay $7,000 for that eBay auction.
Come on, the other ones only went for 6,000.
Only. All right. So Victoria's asking, when is open registration? Again, it is sometime in late 2017. They said that the announcement would be coming in late November to early December, which usually we get the announcements like 10 to 14 days before the sale. So my money is on mid-December with that kind of like announcement timeline. So, yep. Reza asked, sorry if I missed this earlier, but is there an unofficial Comic-Con blog offsite? Yes, there is.
Hold on. I gotta put it up. I can put it up. Boom. Two blog, Too Furious, Gas Lamp Drift.
That's right. That's right. The sequel to the sequel returns to the gas lamp on Wednesday, July 18th. We don't have further details yet, but we will announce everything when we get closer to the event. And what I will tell you, though, is that it's going to be similar to last year, where Prize Mule will be back. And that's where we're going to give away all of our goodies from all of our lovely partner and sponsor companies. So keep an eye out on our Twitter as always for that. And for the party, it's just basically going to be come, hang out, meet us. We would love to meet all of you. But it's a good time. We had fun last year. So we hope we'll see you there. Yep.
All right. So we've had a couple of questions, people asking if they got just for 1 or 2 days. Can you come back for open registration? Yes, of course, you can.
Yep.
Anything that's available and you get in on open reg that you didn't already get, you will be able to buy.
Yes.
Thursday is running low, according to the chat, which means they probably tweeted that, or it's on the yellow bar, which I can't see anymore.
They didn't tweet it, so it must be on the yellow bar.
What?
I don't know. I saw it too. You people are weird sometimes. It's on
the yellow bar.
Yes. All right. So if I got badges, let's see here. What other questions do you guys have? Let's see here. Oh my God. And if you hear weird ringing, it's on my end.
Oh yeah, is it time for the tornado warning?
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah. This happens every freaking time we do one of these things. So yeah, for those who don't know, I actually live in Oklahoma. And we have these things called tornadoes. So literally every Saturday at noon, we call it the noon bell. They test the tornado siren for like 90 seconds, and that's that stupid ringing noise that's finally over. So when can we expect the hotel lottery? At some point after open registration. Some point between the end of open registration and the start of Comic-Con. Let's see here. Do the Conan tickets come later? You know what? I actually don't think Conan officially announced that he was coming back for 2018, which is weird because he has the previous times. But I don't think he officially said anything this last one. Do you, James?
Yeah, he announced it on the Friday taping
Did he?
2 years ago, but I don't remember if he did it this time. I think, were we at the?
He did.
I don't think so. I don't remember it, at least.
I don't remember it either. So I think there's a strong possibility he will be there, but there hasn't been anything like official stating that he'll be there. And yes, the Conan lottery was really stressful, but it was mostly stressful because of the weird change where like there was going to be what day was it? Friday?
The what?
Friday. They were like, remember with Conan, like they canceled one of the shows, but they didn't really announce.
Oh, yes.
They canceled it. Yeah, that was what made it stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then having the dual lines and all that stuff. Yeah.
And Jennifer asked me, what happens if a tornado happens on Saturday at noon? What happens is we all die because we're so conditioned to ignore it. It's funny, like when occasionally like a real tornado siren will go off, and it always takes me like 10 minutes before I'm like, oh, I need to not ignore that like I do the other times it happens.
Well, if there's a tornado in San Diego, I think we have bigger problems than Comic-Con or anything like that.
Yes.
CCI just tweeted that Thursday sold out.
Okay. So Sunday should sell out pretty much any minute now. So for those of you still watching, there's quite a few of you, we sincerely hope that you were victorious today. And if not, remember, you still have open registration.
All is not lost.
All is absolutely not lost.
Yeah, someone pointed out that I was wrong with my 4.5 minutes. Whatever.
So James will not be choosing water today.
No.
Right?
No.
Right?
No. I mean, we got Comic-Con badges instead of getting the time right. Like, I would much rather use my luck towards that. I don't know about you guys.
Right?
I'm pretty okay with like all of my luck going towards that, honestly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, actually, one of my friends was working today, and so they couldn't log in, so we logged in for them, and we got in on theirs. So I think that's the first time a computer in this household has gotten into a registration in years.
That's good.
So that's pretty lucky.
And again, I know not everyone was victorious today. Oh my God, dog, calm down. but the good, again, you have one more sale. Just use the buying group again, especially if you didn't this time. The larger your circle, the more chances you have to get in, to get a badge, all of that. So yeah.
And someone pointed out that if you didn't get in, maybe you should go buy a lotto ticket, because that's maybe where your luck is going to be.
That's right. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. So we're pretty much just waiting at this point for Sunday to sell out, which again should happen honestly at like any moment in time. Yeah.
Someone asked if faster processor on your computer will help you getting through. No, it's completely random on their end. Doesn't have anything to do with how fast you click a button.
Yeah, the days of needing to be super fast about any of this are long gone. Long gone.
But as Cavi Warrior says, a faster processor will render your blue circle like a boss.
Be stressed out in like high def. Sounds fun.
So don't forget that if you have the money, eBay, Comic-Con is running some eBay auctions for 2 pairs of passes to benefit UNICEF.
So it's guaranteed badges. If you have the funds, I wish I keep joking. The only way, in my opinion, that it's worth it is if it came with like the hotel of your choice. But I'm pretty sure if it came with that, the auction would actually go for like $20K instead of like 6.
Right. So what I would do is pay attention to the very last auction that's going and see how high it gets, because the last one will always be the cheapest one.
There you go.
Most likely. I mean, that's the way typical auctions usually work, because as each auction ends, there's one less person trying to raise up the money. So if you wait till near the end, maybe that one will only go for $5,000.
That's funny. Again, I mean, it's 2 badges. Like you could get a friend and like you each pay half. You're still vastly overpaying, but it is for charity. So
still vastly overpaying though.
Yes.
But you're guaranteed. And
yes.
They did point out that if you get them through the auction, you will be able to go into returning registration next year. So there's that bonus. Where typically free tickets don't allow you, like comp tickets or winning prizes typically don't let you get into returning registration, I think.
No, that is absolutely correct. Because we have a couple followers like Lauren at Flippy Floppies. She won one of the contests last year. I think the yellow bar status one. And she doesn't get to do returning registration this year because she won a badge through that. So.
And is it tax deductible? Yes, it's a donation to UNICEF. Yep. eBay will give you the paperwork for that. It's most likely tax. I mean, I'm not a tax professional. Don't take my word for it. You have to consult a tax professional, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw one of our crochet critter friends post that they got their badges this year. So
good.
Having more critter drops.
Yeah, and Jonathan is mentioning that you can't donate the full amount. What they do is you can only deduct the amount that is the difference between what it actually costs and how much over you paid. So if it's normally selling for $300 and you paid $3,000, you could only deduct $2,700. Which, you know,
is this like, are we down the unofficial tax blog? Like,
exactly.
What is happening?
We are not tax
happening?
Professionals. Do not take anything we say as tax advice. Yeah, and if you can claim it, SDCC as a business expense, of course. Yes.
I am
Absolutely.
honestly shocked that like Sunday is not sold out yet.
Yeah, me too.
Like, people, Sunday is still a good day, okay? The floor, everybody has sales, like there's still good panels.
Yes.
Sunday is still a good day. And again, anything you get today, you can still add on and open registration. And the most important part of all is if you go for one day or if you even just buy a Sunday badge, you are eligible for returning registration in 2019. So,
Yay! Plan ahead.
plan way ahead.
Do we know the dates for that yet?
For what?
2019.
I think we actually do. Hold on.
Yeah, I think we have an unofficial post
Well,
or something.
it's not. Yeah, it's not. Basically, every single year, the convention center website posts up an event with an attendance site of 135,000 attendees, and it's like, okay, wonder what that is. So it will be Wednesday, July 17th through Sunday, July 21st. There you go.
Yes.
That's 2019 dates.
CCI just posted that everything is sold out.
Oh, the
Right.
sale is over.
The sale is over.
And it is 10:13 a.m. Pacific time.
Yep. Okay, so that did actually take a decent amount longer than last year, but not like too much longer.
Was it about 15 minutes longer, I think? Almost exactly 15 minutes?
Almost
Okay.
exactly 15 minutes. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will have the recap of the sale up here within the hour. We sincerely hope that you will join us on preview night, whether or not you got preview night badges or not, at Two Blog Too Furious Gaslamp Drift, our offsite this year on Wednesday nights. We will have details much closer to the event, and we'll have a ton more information, like really starting in the new year, about everything from the hotel sale to exclusives to offsites to all of that. It's just way too early right now. But the one thing that we do know is that open registration, which again is for anyone who has a member ID and who didn't buy all 5 badge days today, that will be sometime in late 2017. And we expect it to be early to mid-December, quite honestly. But that will be your next chance to purchase a badge. If you have any friends who are thinking about attending, make sure that they sign up for member ID, because as always, the member ID registration system can close at random. And again, we just thank you guys for hanging out with us. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope. Thank you.
No.
Congrats to all who got in. Good luck to everyone who's going to be trying an open reg, and we will see you in roughly 6 to 8 weeks for open reg.
Yeah.
That's when I'll actually talk about that in just a second. So yes, so this was our first podcast of the 2018 season. It's a special.
God.
We're doing one more
Seems
special.
like 2017 just ended.
I don't think we do any other specials before we start the season, which will start after WonderCon. That's typically when we start. It is May-ish after WonderCon.
I'll add one caveat to that. It depends on when the hotel sale is, but yes.
What do we do the hotel sale?
We usually
We
do
do
it during the regular season, but with everything so early this year, I don't know when in the world it's going to be.
All right, so we'll see.
So,
So anyway, there you go. Thank you everyone for watching and listening.
yes, hopefully you got badges day, but if not, remember, it's not over. All right.
So Andy, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I can be found on Twitter and Instagram at SDCC Wacky Wags. Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Carrie Dixon. James, where can we find more of your work?
I am everywhere on the internet at Dan Riegel, and you can check out our website, geekshotphoto.com, for photos and all the social media links for my wife and I, because Beth does the production of the podcast. She'll get it up online for you guys a little later today, maybe tomorrow, who knows? We'll see. But yes, check us out.
And until next time.
Oh, do all these things. We're
Oh,
on
yeah.
iTunes. Subscribe, and the links are up in the blog. Search for SDConCast. We're on Stitcher Radio, link in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening. Everybody, go
Swarman. We are Penn State.
Oh, please.